What happened while we were away, brought to you by the not State of the Union. Donald Trump will address a joint session of Congress tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Coverage on Blaze TV begins at 7:30. Trump continues to weather economic headwinds left by the last administration. The latest GDP forecast from the Atlanta Federal Reserve shows a contraction for the first quarter of this year by nearly 3%. Tariffs on Canada and Mexico go into effect today. According to Reuters, Honda will be building their next generation Civic in Indiana instead of Mexico. In reaction to these tariffs, semiconductor giant TSMC announced yesterday a $100 billion investment for manufacturing microchips in the United States. Here's President Trump at the White House.
A big percentage of chips with this investment will be made now, a big percentage. It will be at close to 40% of the market with this transaction and a couple of others that we're doing.
Nevertheless, the Democrats keep bleating about fired government workers, Ukraine, and sundry issues. Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut is not attending the speech tonight, saying in a statement, quote, "Wah, wah, I'm a man-child. An orange man gave me a boo-boo," end quote. Democrats who are attending, however, are not only insolent, they're also lazy.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down. They're up.
Those are Senators Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, and Elizabeth Warren, all releasing the exact same video, reading from the exact same script.
And that is the truth.
And that is the truth.
And that is the truth.
Elizabeth Warren is also bringing a guest tonight, a fired worker at the National Science Foundation. Warren says she aims to force Trump to confront the federal workers he fired, the people who make this country run, she said in a statement.
And it became personal with me.
Yeah, what a slap in the face. Those aforementioned Democrat senators were among the 45 who voted last night against a bill that bans dudes from competing against your daughters. In other news, the head of the FBI field office of New York has been forced to resign. This is the guy who told his fellow co-workers at the FBI to quote-unquote dig in after Trump was inaugurated. Attorney General Pam Bondi says she has more Epstein files.
I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything, and a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Trump administration has paused all new weapons deliveries for Ukraine. Vice President J.D. Vance provided more insight on what went wrong with the Ukrainian delegation late last week.
It's supposed to be ceremonial. You know, there had been some public back and forth, some disagreements, some words spoken in public. And the president was like, let's have this moment. We give some credit to the brave Ukrainian fighters. And of course, it's a very brave army that they have there in Ukraine. Let's sign this minerals deal, which importantly does two things. It allows the American people to get some of their money back, but it also shows the Ukrainian people that America has a long-term investment in their sovereignty. You do those things, we'll sign this thing, we'll have a rah-rah moment, and then we'll get to the tough talk of negotiating peace. We couldn't even get the Ukrainians to a point where they could talk about the peaceful settlement.
And finally, this from comedian Nick Alex.
I'm a huge sports fan. I have a son now, and just every fiber of my being wants this kid to be great in sports. But he's a complete white. It's going to be an uphill battle. I'm aware. If it wasn't clearly illegal, I would give my kid steroids almost immediately. Part of me does feel like I should be allowed to. Other parents are giving their kids hormone blockers. I can't give my kid extra. I think it makes sense, logically. Should be able to take him to the doctor and be like, technically he's a 2-year-old boy, but he's been telling me he feels like a slam dunk champion, so shoot him up, Doc. That's how he feels.
And that's what happened while we were away.